All right, guys. So this is going to be Blink Respawn predictions. This is a big tournament. It is a combatant event, but it is one of the last 3 events. So this is really going to determine who qualifies for Final Combat, who needs to attend the next 2 events that are going to be Evo in a few weeks here, and versus fighting in Europe before Final Combat. Players that are going to have to book their trip to Final Combat to participate in the Last Chance qualifier. This is really going to be telling, even though there's not a ton of points on the line that there is with the Demigod event. This is going to be very telling because also the person who wins Evo, there's not a first place amount of points on the line at Evo. If you win Evo, you're automatically qualified for Final Combat. So you there's no first place Demigod points available at Evo because if you win, you're in. So so this is literally going to be really telling. You got players like Ytex who won the Brazilian Pro Comp event in GamesCon, which was a Demigod event. So he's sitting there like basically in Final Combat. If he's able to win this weekend, not only will he basically solidify himself in Final Combat, but he'll solidify himself as potentially like he's probably top 10 player in the world stat, like kind of on the fringe right now. There just isn't a ton of data on him to really be like, okay, he is definitely a top 5 player. But if he wins like Respond, he is in that conversation for sure. Then you got people like Nicholas, who obviously is basically definitely top 5 in the world. Rewind, who's been absolutely killing it during this pro comp. Gur, who's been to everything and absolutely crushing it. You got guys like Snake Doe crushing it. Dialogue, Bean Cell, Scorpion Prox. There's so many good players that are attending this tournament, and it's gonna be pretty crazy. So let's go and get into predictions for Wave 1. To save some time, what I'll do is okay. So it's if you make it out of the pool, you make it top 8. Okay. So we have Chris G's going. I'm sure he's going for other games, but he'll be participating. Jaquelo. I'm gonna say Scorpion Fox versus Jaquelo here. And from what I can see, Oscar Broly is the 4 seed here. I'm not familiar with him, but he's probably close to the Dominican Republic, somewhere probably on those islands. Is his home. So I'm gonna say Ytex versus Oscar Broly here, and Scorpion Fox versus Chris G. I'm gonna have Ytex versus Scorpion Prox, and I'm gonna have Scorpion Prox winning in winners, and Ytex making out on loser side. Okay, so Scorpion Prox winners, Ytex losers side. Okay, then we got Nicholas. We got Dr. Gross. I don't know, like, because the thing is, Gross is such a legend. You really don't know. Like, has he been grinding the game a lot? Just having that clutch factor is going to be huge. Because, like, Ra's al Ghul is someone who has, I feel like, at least towards the beginning of the game, was grinding the game a lot. So, I mean, Dr. Gross was on the first Mortal Kombat 1 top 100 ranking for 2023, but that was, a couple of years ago at this point. So, who really knows how much he's been grinding and stuff like that. So I'll have Nicholas versus I'll have Nicholas versus Gross here. And then Bean Cell just top 8'd CEO. And Gustavo Page won Blink Respawn in 2023. So that'll be a really good set. I'll take Nicholas versus Bean Cell here. This is probably, I bet Bean Cell versus Gustavo Page probably like a game 5 set. Like, I would not be surprised I would be shocked if that isn't an insanely hype set. Absolutely going to be really cool. It's cool to see Bean Cell going. Bean Cell, like I said, did just top 8 CEO, so I wonder if they're trying to make like a push for Final Combat potentially. After getting a decent amount of points there. But yeah, so we'll have Nicholas versus Bean Cell with Nicholas winners and Bean Cell losers side top 8. Okay, we got Rewind. We got Natha. I'm pretty sure that Natha. I don't know. Name made top 8 of Blink Respawn last year, or it wasn't even fully a year ago. The one that Gur ended up winning. But yeah, so I think it would probably be Rewind versus Natha here, and then Dialogue versus Ozanzu. Akarazudo is really good. I'm gonna have Dialogue versus Akarazudo, Rewind versus Nathan, and then Rewind versus Dialogue. I'm gonna have Dialogue winners, and I'm gonna have Rewind making it out in losers. And then we got Gur, we got Javier, the other Javier, not Scorpion Javier, but the Emperor Javier. We got Euphoring, Snake Doe, we got Hyuno, Retro, which is not the Retro, that's someone who I think is a native to, like, close to the Dominican Republic. Pinky, I think, made a run at last year. So did I think this next year. I heard next year might be someone that I run into in Combat League. Well, okay. Anyway, we're gonna have Gur versus Javier here with Gur winning. Snake Doe versus Hayuno here with Snake Doe winning, and then I have Gur, Snake Doe, and losers. Gur winners, Snake Doe losers. Okay. So here we're gonna go off this off the predictions. So here I have Nicholas versus Gur, or not Nicholas versus Gur. This is Scorpion Prox versus Gur. Nicholas versus Dialock. And then we got here we have Ytax versus Snake Doe and Bean Cell versus Rewind. So I'm gonna have Rewind winning here. I'll have Snake Doe versus Ytax. Ooh, I think they played. I'm gonna take Ytax there. So we'll have Ytax and would I have Rewind? Yeah, Rewind. Okay, then we'll have Scorpion Prox versus Gur. I'm gonna take Gur. I don't know. I think this Gur really needs a high placement here. I think he's totally locked in. He's been going to all these events. He has more practice than basically anyone in terms of going to these big tournaments. I think this is going to be a event where Gur goes crazy. And then we have Nicholas versus Dialock. I'm gonna take Nicholas. Okay, so that means that this would be where this is Ytex versus Rewind. Oh my god. This is happening this weekend. It's gonna start I think on the 19th. I can go and get the times after this, but in this week, so we have a Rewind versus Ytex, bro. That's going to be crazy. I'm gonna take Ytex. I don't know. It's so hard because he just such little data, but he did so good. Like he literally won an event that was so stacked that Sonic Fox missed top 8 for the first time in 10 years. But that's like the only data we have for him. So it's like I don't know. But I think Ytex over Rewind, and then we have Scorpion Prox versus. No, wait, we have Dialock here. No, what am I talking about? What am I talking about? I'm a dummy. So it's Dialock versus Ytex, which I'm going to take Ytex. And then this would be Scorpion Prox versus Rewind. I'll take Rewind there. Okay, so then we have Rewind versus Ytex. I'll take Ytex there. This is Gur versus Nicholas. I'll take Nicholas. Gur versus Ytex. I'll take Ytex, and then I'll have Nicholas winning the whole tournament. Not getting reset. And Ytex getting second, so it'll be Nicholas first, Ytex second, Gur third, Rewind fourth, Dialock and Snake Doe. No, Dialock and what do I have? Dialock and Scorpion Prox getting fifth. Yeah, and then Bean Cell and Snake Doe getting seventh place. So those are my Blink Respawn predictions. Definitely let me know what you think of the predictions in the comments below. Do you think anyone's going to go on a big run? Who do you have winning the tournament? I feel like it's completely up in the air. I think right now, looking at this, Nicholas is the favorite. But Ytex is the one seed. We have people like Guri and Rewind coming from the States. Bean Cell, Dark Horse made top 8 at CEO. Snake Doe was literally just in Grand Finals at CEO. So there's a lot of good players. Dialock has been absolutely crushing it. Was in Grand Finals at Texas Showdown. So we have a lot of really, really top tier talent. A very, very dense bracket. Let me know what you guys think. I'll see you guys at the next video.